Hello and welcome to Cooking with Miss Brenda. Last week I shared with you that I would be, the next time you see me, I would be coming to you streaming live from my new kitchen because I was moving. However, I did move, but this is not my kitchen. This is, CQ has graciously allowed us to use her kitchen today because there is no internet in my new house yet. I'm not going to get it actually until Monday. So I wasn't able to stream from my home as I had planned. So you're going to have to actually wait one more week before I stream from my own kitchen. So thank you, CQ. She's our graphic designer for Kids Club for Jesus. And I just want to say thank you for allowing us to use your kitchen today. Today we are having Thai veggie wraps. That was the winner. And I'm really excited. I'm going to read the recipe first. I just want to connect here so that I can see all the comments when they come in. And let's see here. It should be coming up. It's just a little bit slow. There we go. And all right. So I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching right now, just send me a little note and let me know your name and where you're from. I love to hear from you wherever you are in the world. So be sure and let me know where you're from. And I love, let's see, we already have Jeannie Lewis has joined us, and Denver Nelson, and some other people. And Melissa's here today as well. And I need you, Melissa, to get your microphone on. So she thought she was going to get out of that today, but no, that way you can let me know when people are coming on and if there's comments I'm missing. Because sometimes, you might find this hard to believe, I can get so busy doing what I'm doing that I might forget to look and say hi to you. So let's see. And Denver, you're asking, you must have just joined us. No, this is not my kitchen. I was going to broadcast live from my new kitchen. However, there's no internet yet. They're not coming to connect me up until Monday. So see, this is CQ's kitchen, and she's allowed us to stream live from here today. So I'm very grateful for that. So first of all, let me just read the recipe for Thai veggie wrap. For this, you're going to use 1 package of frozen, extra firm water packed tofu. You're going to have 2 teaspoons of Blackened Seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to have 1 cup of cucumbers, 1 cup of carrots, 1 medium avocado, 1 cup of packed romaine lettuce, and then for the peanut sauce, you'll need 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1/4 cup of sparkling apple juice, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of Tamari Sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 2 teaspoons of agave nectar, and then whole wheat tortilla wraps. So that sounds like a whole lot, right? But it is so easy. The only thing we're cooking is our tofu. And what you want to do with this is water packed tofu. So when you get your tofu, you want to drain it. And then what I do is I like to wrap it. You can even wrap it in a towel. Make sure it's a towel that doesn't have fuzz or anything on it. They're baking towels. And you put it on a plate. You rinse it really good, wrap it in a towel, and then I put it on a plate and I set something heavy on it. And maybe put another plate and then put some more weight on it. And that takes the liquid out of it more. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. If you like a little chewier texture, more like a meat-like, chicken-like texture, then what you do is you freeze that water packed tofu in its package. Just freeze it first, and then thaw it the night before when you're wanting to make the recipe. Get it out of your freezer, just shove it in your refrigerator, and it will be thaw out naturally in the refrigerator. And then do the same thing, rinse it, and wrap it in a towel, put it on a plate, another plate on top of it, and then something heavy on top of that, and let it sit for 30 minutes and get that all the juices out so it's not so watery. And that will give you a little chewier texture. I like both ways, so I chose not to freeze this one, and I didn't have any of the nonstick spray pan with me here at CQ, so we're improvising. You know, if you don't have something, you improvise, and sometimes some of the best recipes are that way when you can improvise. So let me just see here who else has joined us real quick. We have Pamela. Thank you, Pamela, for joining us. And we have D.A. Cadwell and Susan Kane joined us. Thank you so much. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to slice the tofu. Now this is a Thai veggie wrap, so we don't want these real big because they're going to be something we wrap up and it will be kind of bulky. So I'm going to just slice this down the middle. I'm going to slice it again and just sew in fours and then slice it again so it looks like that. And then because it's kind of long strips, I'm going to go through right in the middle and just slice it right again, right here, okay? And now, so I've sliced it once in the middle, 4 slices, and now I'm going to go this way with it. And you're going to get a little piece like this. And it's kind of, and you can make them smaller if you want. What I'm going to do is, this is an electric skillet. And I'm going to, since I didn't have any spray, I'm going to just use a little bit of olive oil. You can use canola oil, vegetable oil. You can use, ooh, that's going to make a little noise. This is going to pop and sizzle just a minute here. So I'm going to just quickly, I'm going to put some in there. And well, it's not too bad. Maybe I need to turn up the heat a little. I'll do that. Because you really want a nice medium-high heat on this. Because I'm going to show you, we're going to blacken the tofu. This is, if you've ever wondered what blackening seasoning is, I'll tell you, you can find lots of it. Some blackened seasoning, be careful, has a lot of salt in it. And so this particular one I'm using does not. And so that's why I'm going to add a little salt. But if you use too much of a blackened seasoning that already has a lot of salt in it, it will be way too salty for you. So I'm just going to put that right in there, and I'm going to just, let's see if I have something here to, it's not my own kitchen here, so I don't know if I have something to.
If you need spatulas are back there.
Spatulas, let's see, we have. Okay, good. Woohoo! Thank you, CQ. So I'm going to just, and I'm going to put a little more of the oil because you really want to kind of coat this a little bit. So I'm going to put just a little bit more. Now, I always use a nonstick cooking spray, such as Pam. I like Pam because it doesn't have a flavor that some of them have. And some people say, well, can you use butter? I don't recommend butter flavored, nonstick spray for this recipe. If it's something you love, then go for it. That's what matters. So now I'm going to just take and just sprinkle a little salt because it probably needs it here. And then I have my blackened seasoning, and it's right here. It doesn't look very black, does it? And I'm going to just sprinkle it over. And I'm going to save a little bit because I'm going to saute this, and then I'm going to sprinkle more. Ooh, that smells so good in here.
Can you also bake this tofu if you didn't want to fry it?
Yes, you can. Yep, you can, absolutely. Any way you like to prepare it, you can. It's not a problem. So I'm going to turn this up just a little bit more because I really want this sizzling. I want it to really sear it. And this is, sometimes I'm just doing what I'm doing right here is so good if you're just making a regular salad and as a salad topping, put on some of this blackened tofu like that. It's delicious.
Susan is asking if that's tofu.
Yes.
You're cooking.
Yes, it's tofu. Yep.
It's water packed, right?
Water packed, extra firm tofu. Yep, it is. And so we're just going to put that in there.
And Rhonda just joined us, and she thinks this kitchen looks familiar.
Oh, yes. Right, Rhonda. This is her daughter, Rhonda's CQ's mom, and she has been in this kitchen. And so if you just joined us, Rhonda, I moved this week, but I couldn't come stream live from my new home because I have no internet service. So CQ was kind enough to let us come here. And CQ is actually not here right now because she's over at my new house because I have painters over there because all my furniture is actually being moved in tomorrow. So somebody said I was pretty crazy to be in the middle of moving, doing a cooking program. But you know what? I didn't want to miss you guys. I don't want to, I want you to be able to count on me every single week. I want to be here, come rain or shine. So, yeah, I'm a little bit crazy, but I'm really crazy about Jesus. So, there you go. Now, this is still not, I'm going to turn it up just a little. I've got it up as high as it'll go. So I guess I just need to be patient.
And people can use their favorite seasoning on this tofu, correct?
Any kind of seasoning you want to put on there is fine will work just fine.
You just prefer the blackening.
I prefer the blackening. I love blackened seasonings on this for this type of tofu for a lot of dishes. I make a curry dish. I make an Indian food dish. I make many ethnic dishes with this seasoning, and it's amazing in the dish. I just love it. I think you should at least try it. The brand that I like, because I've tried a lot of blackened seasonings, some of them I don't really like. So if you like, oh, I really don't care for this at all, it's probably your brand of seasoning, not necessarily. The brand that I like to use, that I like the most, is just a Kroger brand. You buy it in Kroger's, obviously. I think you can order it online as well. But Kroger makes their own brand of blackened seasoning, and it's my favorite. I've been using it for years. I really love it.
Is the blackening seasoning, is it spicy?
It's a little bit spicy, but it's not too spicy. In fact, it's not very spicy, so I'm actually going to add a little cayenne pepper to our peanut sauce. So while this is cooking, let's go ahead and put our peanut sauce together. We've got a half a cup of peanut butter already in here, and you can use crunchy or smooth. I've got smooth today. And we're going to put in 1/4 cup. This is just some sparkling apple juice, and we're going to just put 1/4 cup in there of this. And my grandson Mike loves this juice, and so do you, Denver. So I know Denver's watching tonight. He likes that. And then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So what I'm going to do, this is a little handy little lemon squeezer. Isn't this the coolest thing? And I'm going to just squeeze some lemon. I'm going to cut one in half. And I've already rolled it around like, really, because that helps the juices come out really good. So I'm going to just put in here. And I'm going to let Melissa welcome everybody when they're joining. So yes, put her to work today.
Gary Studebaker's with us today.
Hello, Gary.
I actually don't get all the notifications like you do for some reason. Isa has joined us.
Hello, Isa. How are you?
And Pamela Morgan is with us.
All right. And let's see. We have, look in here. We have James Pierce has joined. Hi, James. And we have Jorge has joined, and Leticia, and Dean and Sarah. So, okay, so let's see if we got, well, usually if you put the juice of 1 lemon in, you're good. I honestly, I never usually measure it. I just put juice of 1 lemon. Of course, you don't want one that's all dried up, and you can't, All right, so let me not burn this in front of you. Let's see here. So I'm going to toss this around. This is looking good. Ooh, smelling good too. Let's see here. Now I'm going to put a little more blackened. I mixed it around, and now I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay? And I think I'm going to put the rest of that salt in too. All right, so that's getting ready there. And I've got the lemon juice. And look at this handy thing. See, I squeezed it, and there's our juice right there. And I can just pour it all out right there. Is that really, this is CQ. So, Rhonda, if you don't have one of these, ask CQ. She's got that covered for you. And then we want to have our Tamari sauce in here. This is an amazing recipe because you don't have to cook it. You can just, this is one of those no-cook recipes. So you don't have to do it in the stove. There I put a little cayenne pepper in there. And our agave nectar right here, this is what that looks like. I have a little organic agave nectar. And we're going to put in, let's see, 2 teaspoons of that. So let me put that in there. There's 1 and 2. Okay. And now, let me see if I can put this over here. Find something to mix this with. I'm helping myself to your drawers, CQ. Okay. She's like, oh dear. All right, so now you want to just be careful because if you get too vigorous right away when you're working all that liquid into the peanut butter, you're going to splash it everywhere. And trust me, I have done that. So I'm going to just...
It looks like Rhonda would like the lemon squeezer, so...
Oh, okay. You tell CQ to hook you up because that's that's really a handy gadget to have, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in your kitchen. So we're going to keep that's coming along very nicely. So now let me just combine this peanut butter with all these wonderful ingredients right now. And I've got a fork that I'm just mixing it with. And you just want to keep blending and mixing it in until it's all combined and smooth. And
I do see a whisk back there if you...
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. She's got a whisk?
I see it.
All right. Yes, she does. Woohoo! All right. I'll try the whisk here. I'm trying to... Remember what I said about improvising if you don't have what you need? So let's see if this... Yep.
Somebody's asking where we can get the lemon squeezer like that. So.
Oh, they have them... if you're in the United States... They have them like at a Walmart store. You can order them online. They have them even at grocery stores. You know, many grocery stores have an aisle. You go down and they have kitchen gadgets. You see them in there all the time. So yeah, they're pretty popular. Bed Bath & Beyond has them. You can even at some of your discounts, even a different version of them at the dollar store I've seen. So just they're around. So now I'm just gonna, oh, this is nice and smooth. Awesome. Now I'm going to save out 1/4 cup of this so that we have a good dipping sauce. And maybe not let's see, I think 1/2 cup is what I save out. Let me look and see. Yep, 1/2 cup. So we want to send, and I'm going to just measure it, just eyeball it here. But you can measure it when you're trying it for the first time. I do a lot of eyeballing, That's what my mama always says when you're just, instead of measuring it accurately, you've cooked enough to kind of estimate with your eye. So she calls it eyeballing. All right, so I'm just going to put a little in here for dipping sauce. Okay. And then put that on there. All right, so I'll set that over there. And now, here's our dipping sauce. We're going to put this, we don't need more oil. And let me just, oh, this is really coming up nice. I'm glad so that you can see this. I need a plate I can put it on in a minute so that I can show you. Let's see, you're tied to that chair, so let me run and get it. Hold on 1 second. And, yep, she pointed me right to it. It's right there. So that way I can put it on there and you can see what I'm talking about. It needs just a little bit more. This looks good enough to eat. Woo! So while that's finishing up, what we're going to do is julienne our vegetables. We're going to have, and so it's just, I actually have a julienne peeler at home that's really fun to use, and it looks like a potato peeler, and it just comes out in the nice julienne strips. It's perfect. So I'm going to do this one by hand since I don't have that. I just put this in half, and I'm going to just go down the width of it right here. And this is not a very sharp knife. I'm going to tell her she needs to get her knife sharpened. So here we go. And what you're going to do is just go on an angle. So you're going to make just little strips so that see, like little bitty strips like that? You're just going to make a bunch of those. And
it kind of blends into your apron.
Yeah, it blends into my apron so you can't only see him. Speaking of my apron, I tell you, I just love Lucy so much. She sent me more aprons this week so that in the new house we can have lots of kids with me. There is a lot more room in the new kitchen so that we can have more kids with us. I'm excited about that. So if you would like to be on the program, if you've got some kids that you don't live very far from here and would like to come and be on the cooking program with me on Wednesdays, please email me, Brenda at brendawalsh.com. Melissa can put that on there for you. and we'll set it up. We'll make it happen, okay? I love to have kids in the kitchen with me. And so let's put it, I'm going to just, and so what we're going to do is we're going to just julienne our carrots like this. And let's see if you have any questions. Does anybody have any questions so far that you would like to ask? You can also, if you have one of those, it looks like a hand grater that you can change the blades to get different types of shapes. You can use one of those. If you have one of those mandolins, you can use that. That really does it nice and fast. This is doing it the old-fashioned way. And the reason that I do it, I cut it in half first, is it just makes it more manageable to me. That's all, when you're doing it by hand. You know, not everybody has a gadget, so it's good to look. It's good to have a different way of doing it. Okay, so let me just toss this around. Ooh, this is perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to let it set there in a minute, and then I'll put it on the plate for you to see. So let's see here if we have anybody else. Kathy Seeley has joined us, and Erica has joined us. So, and I'd love to hear, tell me where you guys are from. I would love to hear where you're from. I'm so glad you did join us today. I want to encourage you to join me on every Sabbath afternoon at 5:30 Eastern Time. And we have an hour of just praise and worship where I'm at the piano. You can submit your song requests, and I'll play your song favorites. And we have a lot of wonderful time together just praising Jesus. You know, Jesus loves to hear us praise him through song. And it's just a very special time. At the end of that hour, we have time for special prayer requests. So if you have a special prayer request, somebody you'd like me to pray for, then you can submit it at that time. I just do want to share with you, Melissa wanted me to share with them, that because we've been moving this week, in fact, all my furniture isn't there yet. Tomorrow night will be my first night in the new home. So we've been working so hard, with the move and trying to get the office resituated and get things going here, that she didn't have a chance to put the new recipes out for you today, but she will have them for you tomorrow, posted and ready to vote. Right, Melissa?
Absolutely.
So you don't even know which way you're leaning. By the way, Melissa's completely in charge of picking the recipes and the themes. So if you have something that you're wanting, you need to message Melissa. Can you write in your email address that they could get a hold of you and put in put their vote in of what they want you to choose. So she's totally in charge of it. In fact, I don't know what I'm cooking until when you do. When she posts the winners and I say who's close. Sometimes it's really close. Who was our close tie with this time, Melissa?
It was the vegetable pad thai.
Vegetable pad thai. Ooh, that's good. That's CQ's favorite, Rhonda. She likes that vegetable pad thai.
Yes, if anybody has suggestions, I would love to hear them. Sometimes it takes a different perspective to,
Sure.
inspire some ideas.
Sure.
Speaking of ideas,
yes.
You could also put sweet pepper in this as well.
Oh, yes.
And maybe even some spinach if people like spinach, like raw spinach.
Yep. I usually do put sweet pepper in mine because I just like it. I really do like sweet pepper. So we're almost done with this. This takes a little long. Next time I'll make sure I have this all pre-cut for you. And let's see here.
This reminds me of the veggie spring rolls that we have too, that are amazing with the rice paper wraps.
Oh yes.
So
yep.
Those are amazing, but those are a lot of work too to roll.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to put this over here for right now. And this is going to go in here in our bowl because we're going to just put our vegetables in here. So we're just going to pour that in there. And then I'm going to, now you can dice this or you can julienne it. And I'm going to go ahead and julienne it again just because I like to.
And these are the mini cucumbers.
Yes, they're the mini ones. They are so sweet. Sometimes a cucumber can actually be a little bit, the skin on it be a little bit bitter. But these little mini cucumbers, their skin is so nice and sweet. You don't want to peel it. It's really, see how I'm just making little julienne slices? I love cucumbers anyway.
What's nice about the mini ones is they don't have a lot of seeds.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody else have ideas of what you think would be good in this wrap? For sometimes I think a little bit of raw cabbage, like raw purple cabbage can be good in here
and
as well.
And if you like raw onions.
No, we're not too crazy about raw onions. You lose me right there.
Not you. I'm saying, there's other people that like raw onions.
Oh, surely not. Surely not. Huh?
I know a few.
You do?
I do. My mother loves them. Raw
really?
Onions, yes.
Oh, wow. Well, growing up, there wasn't any raw onion lovers in our family, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. Sometimes you have these tastes that you grow up with, and maybe if mom fixed something a certain way, or she always put a certain ingredient in something, you find yourself, it's something familiar, and it's a wonderful memory. So
Rhonda likes onion. She just commented.
Raw onion?
She said, yes, onion. So...
Well, I can do a cooked onion, Rhonda. I just don't like the raw ones,
See, I used to eat raw onions until I met you, and then it kind of went off my diet.
Really?
Yeah.
Raw?
Yes. Well, that's the way I was growing up. My mom liked them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I never met a raw onion I like. Now, I love them cooked. I think it's amazing to have the really nice taste of a cooked onion in almost anything that I cook. I've got to have some. I still usually start with an onion because it really has such a nice flavor for your food.
Wow.
Okay, so now we have that, and now we're going to just do our avocado. I'm just going to slice through. Here's the thing about avocados. You never know if it's going to be good or not. So I'm hoping this is, because I only have one. If it's not good, we're not putting it in there, just so you know. Are you ready? Ta-dam, ta-dam, ta-dam. Twist.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful one. Look at that, Melissa. Woohoo!
So Susan is saying that you could put in yellow squash, zucchini, or maybe even mushrooms.
Ooh, I don't know about the mushrooms, but yeah, you could. I love butternut squash. I could see, sliced up butternut squash. And so I'm just going to put this in here and twist my knife. It comes out like that. And
Ash also likes raw onions in dishes.
Ash is our director of social media for Kids Club for Jesus. She lives in South Africa, and she is also our administrator on our Facebook Kids Club for Jesus page. So thank you so much. And it's really late at night. It's like after midnight her time. So for her to be with us, it's a real sacrifice. And I want you to know I love you, Ash. So she's probably looking at me like, why are we not in our new kitchen? So I'm just making little slices here because they're easier to put in a wrap. They're just, and you can dice it if you want. That's no problem. And any way you want to slice it is fine.
That looks like an amazing avocado there.
It really is an amazing avocado. So, and I do have a towel right here. So I'm just going to put all that in there and just give that a little toss. And then what I'm going to do is put this over here. And we've got some lettuce that's already shredded, romaine lettuce. You can use your favorite lettuce, it's fine. And then I'm just going to toss this. Now, doesn't that look good? Whew, that's so good.
I think the recipe actually had you do the avocado last. So could you
squish it? I didn't know, and in my recipe I do that, but I don't always do that. So I'm doing it today a little bit different because I like that covering of the peanut sauce mixed up with that. You don't have to do that. When you do the wrap, you can lay those on last, and I usually do that, but this was intentional in case Melissa's face is going, what is she doing?
I'm just saying, I know that you have a lot of finesse in the kitchen, but if it were me and I put that avocado in there and tried to mix it up, my avocado would be mush.
Well, I'm very gently. I'm just really tenderly tossing this, okay? All right. So now I'm going to put this on the plate here just so that you can see how wonderful it is, and I can bring it up to the camera to show you. And that way you have a better idea, because you saw how white it was and it's soft. Well, this is nice and chewy and a nice texture when it gets like this. And I'm just going to, and we're going to toss this in as well. And so yes, you're going to be tender, very tender with your, I'm going to put this over here. I'll just slide that over there. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this. Tell me.
Good. Yes.
Can you see that?
Looks amazing.
Ooh, that's good. All right. So I'm just going to put all that right in there. And then I'm going to be tenderly tossing. What's the name here? Tender. The key thing is tender. Look how wonderful that. And I'm going to, I wonder if she has a
I'm just going to spatula. Yes, in the back.
Oh, yes, she does. Good deal. Okay, so she has a spatula. So I'm going to take this peanut sauce and I'm going to pour it all the way over top. Just think of it like as if it was a dressing on a salad. It's kind of like that. And another thing that this is really good in is if you wanted to do the rice papers and make spring rolls out of this, oh, that is really good because all that peanut sauce is all mixed up in it. So when you bite it, it's not dry. It's just a lot of flavor when you do that. Okay, so here we're going to tenderly toss. And let's see here. Look at that. And it seems, will ease Melissa's mind. There's nice, big, huge chunks of avocado in here. So the keynote is tender. We're just going to be real tender. All right, so here we go. And look, it's just till it's nice and evenly coated, where you have everything coated right there. And now I'm going to set this aside. Let's put this aside so I can clean up and have a little space here to work with. We're going to put our wraps on. So now you can use your favorite whole wheat wrap that you want, whatever kind you want. And if you don't like whole wheat, you can use a white one. And I'm just going to separate one out here. Okay, so here's where we are. It's a real thin one. It's not those real thick ones. So you put that down. And we're just going to put some over here. And you've got a nice combination here of all the vegetables combined with a nice sauce. In fact, I think I'm going to just put a little more right here. Gary, you're going to want a bite of this. And in fact, I think I'm going to see you later, so you let me know right now if you want me to save you one. You want me to make you one? I'll make you one, Gary. So if you live in this area and you want to try, hey, I can take care of you. All right, so, and we're going to send some for your wife, Jeanette, too. All right, you let me know. So now we're just going to tuck right here, tuck and roll. And I kind of really get it a little bit tight right here. And then just tuck and roll and roll and roll. And then, let's see if I can have a serrated knife, if she has one in here or not. Yes, she does. Wow, that thing looks big. I wonder if there's a little one. Yes. Okay, good deal. All right, so now we have that. And I like to cut it on an angle. So just on a diagonal right there. Okay. And when you present, look at that. You could have like a little, your peanut sauce right here on the side. And let's see here, right there. And I'm going to bring it over so you can see it really good. And tell me what you think of that. Perfect. Doesn't that look good enough to eat?
It's good.
All right.
Get everybody's mouth watering now.
Woo! So what do you think, guys? You just want to take a big bite of that? It is absolutely delicious. And let me see if you have any questions. Hi, Yvonne. You just joined us. And let's see. Linda joined us. Hi, Linda. And were those your plates, Rhonda? Is that where she got them? Those are nice, aren't they? Rebecca Powers joined us. Hi, Becca. And let's see, James loves raw onions. And Joey and Rhonda like raw onions. And Truby Ray, hey Truby. It's so nice to have you join us. And let's see if anybody else has any questions right now. Can you just let me know? I want to encourage you to check our Kids Club for Jesus page tomorrow so that you can vote on what I'm going to fix for next week. And next week we will be streaming live from my new kitchen. And so you can join us there and what will be our first recipe in my new home. So think about do you have any ideas, Melissa, what you're going to come up with?
Maybe we should celebrate with a cake.
Woo! Melissa made the most amazing. It was a chocolate raspberry truffle cake. I absolutely love chocolate, and I love raspberry truffles and chocolate raspberry truffles, and I really love chocolate raspberry truffle ice cream. And she recreated that cake, that same flavor. It is so amazing. I told her, I have a birthday next month. I said, that's my birthday cake right there. That's what I want. So we will, she's saying maybe a cake. I ought to make the cake my birthday week. I think you ought to do cakes
that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. So she has time to think about that.
There's plenty of options.
Lots of options. Why don't you put out your message and give her some ideas. And she will post those tomorrow. And pray for me because I'm moving into my new house tomorrow. So I want to just thank you guys for joining me. And I really encourage you to try this. It is really just so simple to make. You saw how easy that is. You can even fry up the tofu, the night before and just heat it up before you, make this as well. And it's fine. And if you want to make extra tofu, it's really good to do because you can save it for put salad toppings throughout the week.
Or just eat it plain.
It is really good with the dipping sauce. I like a sweet and sour sauce and dip. It's great.
Or just plain.
Or great appetizers too. She just loves that blackened tofu. She does. I know. I've been making it for her for a lot of years. Well, thank you for joining me. Please join me next this coming Sabbath for praise and worship. You can join me on Brenda Walsh Ministries on Facebook. For praise and worship, I'll be at the piano playing your favorite songs, and I can't wait to see you there. I want to encourage you to always eat healthy, keep cooking, and remember, it's your time to share Jesus. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next week.